Hello everyone, this is Sandra. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Yeah, today I'm going to talk about how to control your mind. How to control your mind. That's what I'm going to talk about. The mind, our mind is the strongest muscle in our body. In our body, the mind. Yeah, that's the strongest muscle in our body, and it controls our thoughts, isn't it? Yeah, it controls our thoughts, so our mind is very powerful. Sometimes when you get cold or you are stressed or something like that, the list goes on. You tend to get depressed, in it. Yeah, but you don't seem to notice that's how it does. Yeah, you seem to get depressed. You seem to get depressed when what's the name? When you get something little happens to your body, then your mind is like pushes you to obstacles. You get depressed and the rest. And that depressed and cold and whatever stress that attacks you and leads you to depress. What's the name? Depressed. So when you get depressed, then you start having negative thoughts. Negative thoughts. That's what you start to have. So our mind is very strong. It controls our body. You know, our mind controls our body. It sends messages as well to our body. Yeah. So that's a very strong thing. But majority of people can't control their mind, especially people with mental health. It's very hard for them to control their mind. That's why they give them the medication and the rest to take. Yeah, because when you get mental health, your mind is sick, innit? Your mind becomes sick. So it's like all kinds of things comes in your head, scary things, So it's like without the medication, it will be hard for you to live, because you see so many things that somebody else can't see, you know. You see so many things walking around, but somebody can't see. So they tend to make mistake, yeah. They tend to make mistake because their mind is sick, you know. Yeah, so unfortunately, that's how the mind is. When the mind gets sick and you end up in depression, you end up in mental health, anxieties, so many. Yeah, but the medication protects it, you know. Yeah, but the people that haven't got mental health, sometimes when you are too tired and you go and sleep, you dream about weird dreams, you dream about bad dreams, because you are so tired, yeah. That is how it is. You are so tired, so you tend to dream bad dreams, but we can control our mind. We can control our mind because sometimes there's a lot of things on the television that is very bad, you know. Yeah, it's very bad. That's why even if you have children, you tell them to go and sleep at a certain time, so that they don't watch things that they are not supposed to watch. Because once they watch it, it goes into their mind, and they start to act on it. Because the mind is a powerful tool that it pushes you to do things. To be honest, a lot of crime in this world now is because what they watch on the television. So when they watch on the television, then it's like the some of them is like for no reason they tend to copy what is on the telly. Then they use it for their lives. That's why there's a lot of murderers in the world. There's a lot of killers in the world because of the television. Television is just for entertainment, but some people use it as something else. So we can control our mind. Because so far, our mind can send messages to us so many times. Sometimes unnecessary things. Unnecessary things, the mind will just send it to your brain. Yeah, and you are the one who's supposed to control. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. But some people can't. Some people can control their mind. Some people too, they can't control their mind. So it's like that's how it is. So if your mind is sending you messages to go and do something bad, you have to know that you can control your mind and tell your mind, no, I'm not going to do that. But some people can't. It's like anything that comes in their thoughts, they feel like they have to act on it. Anything that comes in their mind, they feel like they have to act on it. Yeah, and they end up doing stupid things. They end up doing stupid things. Then at the end, it puts them into trouble. Because the mind, you are the one who can control your mind. Your mind can't control. If you sit down for your mind to control you all the time, that means I don't know. I mean, what life is for you? Because if the mind was to control you, there's a lot of silly things you do. There's a lot of stupid things you do. There's a lot of unnecessary things you do. So that's why we are the human being. We are the one who have to control our mind, not our mind controlling us. You know. That's why sometimes some people, any random thing that comes in their head, they go and do it. Because the mind is very, very fragile. At the same time, it's strong though. Yeah, but it's fragile, because it tells us what to do. It tells us what to do. Sometimes you are sleeping, you know that, oh, you need to go to work in the morning. Let's say you have set your alarm for 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. But then when the 6 a.m. comes, you said, oh, let me sleep a little bit. Let me sleep 10 minutes. By the time you realize you have slept about 1 hour, so which means that you are late for work. Because you couldn't control your mind. You couldn't control your sleep. When you were, even though you're feeling sleepy and tired, and you know that I have to go to work, you need to wake up and go. But government is, oh, let me sleep for 10 minutes, or let me sleep for 15 minutes. By the time you realize you have overslept, because your mind is not going to remind you that, oh, you're supposed to go to work. So that's the battle for our mind, so we have to control it. When it's 6 o'clock, you need to wake up. Don't give your time though. Don't give yourself time for another 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Otherwise, you'll be late and you can't do whatever you're supposed to do for the day. So we can control our mind. It's very easy to control our mind. You understand what I mean? Sometimes when you sleep, nobody understands dreams. I don't know why. Whenever we go and sleep, we dream about dreams. We dream about weird dreams. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes too, the dreams comes true. The dream comes true. So that's because God's nature. That one I can't go into it. I know that it's from God, isn't it? Yeah. God is the one who can understand those kind of things. But what I'm saying is that we can control our mind. If your mind tell you to go and be someone, it doesn't mean that you should go and be the person. You have to reason and say that my mind is telling me to go and be this person. What sense does it make? The person has not done me any bad. The person has not done me any good. And if I go and beat the person, I'll end up in trouble. So you leave it, especially the children. The children that we bring them up. It's like they are very easy to be interrupted, isn't it? Yeah, they have some friends who can confuse their mind. They have friends that, oh, I'm going to do this bad thing. Why don't you join me? Or I'm going to steal from the shop. Why don't you join me? You understand what I'm about? But because he's a small child, he doesn't know whether it's good or bad. They don't think that, oh, me going to steal in the shop is going to put me in prison, or police is going to arrest me. They don't know that. So they normally follow their children, their other friends, to do the bad things. Yeah, but we the mothers and the parents, we have to advise our children that it's not everything that comes in their thoughts that they have to do. It's not everything that comes in their thoughts they have to do. Sometimes if they are confused, they can talk to the parents or talk to their siblings, older siblings. That today this is what came in my mind. What should I do? Yeah, because our mind is good. but at the same time it's bad as well because it sends a lot of messages into our body, and if you don't take care, you go and do it, and when you go and do it, then you are in trouble. So we need to control our mind. Once you know that what comes in my mind, what has come in my mind is not necessary. What has come in my mind is bad. You delete it straight away from your thoughts. You can control your mind. It's not as soon as your mind tells you go and do this bad, you go and do it. It's not easy because sometimes, especially when you are tired, that's when your mind plays tricks on you. When you are very tired, that's when your mind plays tricks on you. It's like you don't want to do anything, because you are tired, and all kinds of things. That's when our mind plays tricks on us. But we can control our mind, because if God gave us the power to control our mind, because the mind is in our head, so we are the ones supposed to control it, because we have the willpower to control it. If our mind was to control us, and I'm sure there will be no peace in the world. If our mind was to control us, there will be a lot of bad things in the world. But some people, they seem to listen to their mind. They seem to listen to their mind. Whatever their mind tells them is what they do. When they watch television and it's a crime thing on the television, yeah, and the mind tells them that, oh, you can do it, go and do it. Then they start doing it. You understand what I mean? They start doing all those things because they have watched the television, and because they watch the television, their mind also tells them that, but you can also do it. Yeah, that's why a lot of shootings, a lot of crime, a lot of stabbing, a lot of gangs, all those things. Yeah, it's because the mind is telling them to do, and they don't have power over it. But people that with mental health are very fragile. When they get into mental health, the amount of things they see that we don't see. Somebody with mental health can tell you that there's somebody in the house, but you don't see anybody in the house. But the person will say, oh, there's somebody walking around the house, but yet there's no one, because them they see things differently, isn't it? Yeah, so that is how it is that we should control our mind. Yeah, it's very, very easy to control our mind, especially, but you are able to control your mind more if you are an adult. If you are an adult, you are able to control your mind more. If you are a child, you don't now already you are a child, so your brain is not mature enough. Because you are not mature enough, you go and do silly things. That's not what I mean. I remember one of my children when they were very young. They used to eat a lot of sugar. I didn't even know. You know, I didn't know that they eat too much sugar. So I was saying to my mind, one day I came from work, and I came and met one of them, like the way my child has poured sugar in a bowl and is eating like food. And I said, well, what happened to you? Why are you eating all that sugar? You understand what I mean? So I stopped him straight away. I disciplined him and I advised him that it's not good to eat sugar too much like that. Yeah, because it can give you diabetes as well. And even though not knowing, he has been doing it for a long time, because I didn't know, I wasn't aware. He has been doing it for a long time. So at the end, it was difficult for him to stop. But at the end, thank God, he stopped it, innit? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that the mind was telling him, eat sugar. The mind was telling, because he's a child, innit? So his brain was not strong enough to rebuke that, oh, yeah, even though my mind is telling me to eat sugar, I don't need to eat sugar. You understand what I mean? Yeah, serious. It was a serious problem. But at the end, he got out with it, away with it. You understand what I mean? Yeah, so that is how it is. The same applies to stealing. Your mind, sometimes if you don't have money on you, if you are broke, it's like you are totally broke. There's no money. Your mind can tell you, oh, go and steal from the shop. Oh, go and steal from the shop. If you don't have money, go and steal from the shop. But that going to steal from the shop is going to give you problem. Because if you are caught, the police comes in, that's you finish. So we should should be careful what comes in our mind. If your mind is telling you to do bad things, you have to rebuke it that no, I have power over my mind. I have power over my mind. You understand what I mean? I cannot let my mind control me. So I can control my mind. So I'm not going to allow that to happen. Sometimes you can even talk to, to your mind. You can talk to your mind. So this is not on. Why should I go and do this? Why should I go and do that? You understand what I mean? So the mind, therefore the mind is just there. It's just there, and it just give orders. So you have to pick what is right and what is wrong. You understand what I mean? When something good comes in your mind, you know that yeah, this is the right thought. This is a good one. You understand what I mean? And when something bad comes in your thoughts, say no, this is wrong. I can't do that. So people that can't control their mind. Apart from that, you have mental health. You understand what I mean? But ordinary people that can't control their mind, you should try to control their mind now. That it's easy for you to control your mind. As far as you are not sick, you know that you don't have depression, you don't have anxieties, you don't have mental health. You can control your mind bit by bit. You understand what I mean? Yeah, by not what's the name? Listen to your mind too much. You have to tell your mind what to do. That's what I mean. Because if you say you are going to follow your mind will tell you not to work. Your mind will just tell you not to work. Or just sleep the whole day, don't do anything. You get benefit. Why are you going to work? You understand what I mean? You get benefit is that why are you wasting your time to go and work? So if you listen to your mind, you not amount to anything. You see that you not amount to anything. Your future will be waste of time. It's like you'll be sitting down doing nothing and getting benefit. And we all know if you're on benefit, you don't have much life. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So we should try and control our mind. That's why there's even a saying, a battle for your mind. Yeah. You should try and control our mind and reach the goals that we want to reach. You understand what I mean? For you to be somebody, you have to think about it. For you to accomplish your goal, you have to think about it. Your mind is not going to do it for you. You understand what I mean? You have to think that, oh, okay, next year by this time, I'm hoping that next year by this time I've got money to buy a house. Or I've learned something. I've gone to the college to learn something. You understand what I mean? Your mind is not going to tell you. If you are thinking about college, yeah, your mind can give you an ideas. You understand what I mean? Yeah, but our mind, is there. But it's up to us to control it. You understand what? But you can do anything in this world. Yeah, by controlling your mind, you can do anything you want to do in this world. You understand what I mean? If your goals is to accomplish something higher in your life, it's up to you to do it. You understand what? You cannot just sit down and expect your mind to go and do those things for you. No, you have to do it yourself by controlling your mind, by telling your mind what you want to do. You understand what I mean? So despite that, our mind is there. Our mind is there for thinking, for helping us and the rest. You understand what I mean? But at the same time, we can control our mind. And also number two, our mind send messages to our body. So our mind send messages to our body. So if you want to do something in life now, yeah, you have to talk to your mind. Don't let your mind talk to you. Because if your mind was to talk to you, you not amount to anything. You understand what I mean? You not amount to anything. So that is how it is. That we should learn how to control our mind. So that we can accomplish whatever we want to accomplish in the world. You understand what I mean? Because if you don't control your mind, then I don't know. Because if you are someone who can't control your mind, it's not that you are sick, you have got mental health, you don't have all those things, but still can't control your mind, then there's a big problem. Then you have a big problem. So we should learn how to control our mind, and we feel better. We reach where we want to reach. Okay, so that's the end. Yeah, so take care. Yeah, bye.